The theory of the Battle of Armageddon is based on many books contained throughout the Old and New Testaments of the Christian Bible, as well as the Jewish Tanakh and the Islamic Quran. Purporting to be the ultimate fight between good and evil, the Battle of Armageddon is another mysterious prophecy forewarned long ago by the ancient prophets. The Christian concept. During what the Christians refer to as the end times, a 7-year period known as the Great Tribulation will ensue, and mankind will experience a most turbulent world, one like has never been seen before. The 7-year tribulation period will herald in the fight of all fights. Neither man, woman, nor child will be safe during this era of corruption, murder, and natural disasters. According to some scholars, the Antichrist, who is an agent of Satan, will appear out of a global organization such as the United Nations or perhaps the European Union. He will make a grand entrance into a very vulnerable world. This person will have the ability to convince many people and nations to follow and worship him. The lies and deceit will be embraced as truth and salvation by many when the Antichrist will be successful in uniting all countries through a long-awaited peace treaty with Israel and the Middle East. The Antichrist will rule for 7 years. During the first half of the Great Tribulation, his world leadership will be embraced by many as that of a savior. Some theologians believe this agent of Satan will be instrumental in having the third Jewish temple built. His reign on earth will be viewed as that of an extraordinary and awesome leader. This is the first half of the Great Tribulation. The second 3.5 years will become a nightmare as Satan's agent takes complete control and makes the world his own. He will force followers and those who were struck with awe to take a mark on their forehead or their hand, which will unknowingly establish a commitment to Satan. Some religions refer to this as the mark of the beast, also referred to as the number 666. Any who deny or renounce him will be put to death. Some scholars today believe a numerical mark is already being established through the products we buy, such as the barcodes, and the credit cards we use, such as the numerical sequences or lines. Other theologians believe the mark of the beast already occurred during the ancient era of John the Evangelist, also known as John of Patmos. These skeptics claim the mark referred to the Roman Emperor Nero, a tyrannical persecutor of the Christians, whose Greek name, Neron Caesar, was the numerical equivalent of the beast's number 666. As the Antichrist rules over the world, he will speak blasphemous words against the Creator and inflict intense persecution upon those who do not convert to his sacrilegious ways. In Revelation 7:9, it speaks of a great multitude which no man could number. Many members of the Christian faith believe that the great multitude of people will become known as the tribulation saints, or those who will be left behind after the Christian evangelical belief in a rapture and come to find faith in Jesus Christ during the Great Tribulation. The state of the world union will continue for the next 42 months as the Antichrist is unleashed on an unsuspecting planet. Then, according to the Christian belief, at the end of the Great Tribulation, the Creator will send his Son, Jesus Christ, to confront the evilness and put an end to the interference of Satan, at least for 1 millennium. According to the scriptures of the Christian Bible, after 1,000 years, Satan will be released from the bottomless pit by the mercy of the Creator. A second chance for the devil to redeem himself to his God is supposed to be bestowed upon the angel Lucifer, who is known also as Satan. But that is another mystery that has yet to be defined. Ultimately, good wins over evil according to the beliefs of Christianity. But exactly when the Battle of Armageddon will occur, or when it will even begin, is anyone's guess. The Christian Bible states, the Jewish concept. In the teachings of Judaism, their archenemy is known as Armilus, an anti-Christ-like figure that has many legends attributed to him. According to the JewishEncyclopedia.com, he will be a prominent figure, such as a king, who will inflict major persecution upon both the Jews and Christians. The Midrash describes him as a bald-headed monstrosity with one large and one small eye, deaf in the right ear, and maimed in the right arm. Purported to be the son of Satan, Armilus will set himself up to be the Messiah, even the Creator himself, and many Christians will believe him to be Jesus Christ. The Jews refer to the Christian Savior as the scion of Joseph. The Gospels of the New Testament will be accepted by Armilus, and he will use it as his doctrine, bringing more Christians to his side during the end of days. However, this does not last, and soon Armilus kills off the Christians, including the scion of Joseph, when the Jews refuse to worship him. When Satan's son is unable to convince the Jewish nation to follow him, he will wage war against them and send them fleeing into the desert. After 45 days in the desert, and the Jews that were unworthy of the Messianic period die out, the angel Michael will appear and blow his trumpet, which will signal the final battle is about to begin. The remnant of faithful Jews will witness the appearance of their long-awaited Messiah, along with the prophet Elijah, and march towards Jerusalem, where the last war between good and evil will be fought, and Armilus will be destroyed. According to the Midrash, the Talmud, and the Zohar, the Jewish Messiah will arrive before the year 6000 of the Hebrew calendar. The Hebrew calendar of the Orthodox Jews dates back to the creation of mankind, and the year 2016 correlates to the Jewish year of 5776. The Midrash states, 6 eons for going in and coming out, for war and peace. The 7th eon is entirely Sabbath and rest for life everlasting. The end of days will herald in the great Messianic era, a time of global peace and harmony, that the Jewish nation has waited for these many thousands of years. The idea of the Jewish Messiah ushering in a global peace can be found in the scriptural passages of Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4, and chapter 11, verses 6 through 9. The Islamic concept. The Islamic religion also refers to an archenemy. According to the Hadith, he is known as Dajjal, which is Arabic for the false Messiah. This evil figure will appear in the world during the last days and pretend to be the Masih, or the Messiah. His entrance into our chaotic planet will happen before the judgment day, and he is likened unto an Antichrist in Christianity and Armilus in Judaism. Other scholars of Islamic teachings believe the Dajjal, which literally translated means deceiver, is a metaphor for the United States of America. They believe Jesus was the prophet of Allah and taught that Allah was the one true God. The scholars say those Christians who believe that Aisha, or Jesus, is a part of a Holy Trinity is being deceived, and therefore Christianity as a whole is an antichrist in itself, because it teaches the opposite of what Aisha taught. And yet others believe the Christian Bible was corrupted by the ancient deceivers intent upon supporting the dogma of the Holy Trinity. Most Islamic theologians agree the Dajjal will produce an attack upon mankind and conquer the entire world by military force, as well as seducing others with material prosperity. Many will be rendered blind by his power, which will cause them, the Christians and the Jews, to be easily deceived by his unholy mission. Numerous followers of Allah will become profoundly misguided and conform to Dajjal's doctrine as well. The majority of the Islamic scholars and theologians agree that the Mahdi, the purest Muslim since the Prophet Muhammad, will appear and raise his own army, which will include Aisha. The Mahdi, who will lead a spiritual jihad in converting the Western world to Islam, will eventually defeat the Dajjal and become ruler of the planet Earth according to Islamic law. Those who are non-believers during this era of time will either convert to Islam or be killed. The Hadith says, "The sun will rise in the west," which roughly translated means Islam will spread throughout the Western Christian world. Some philosophers of religion believe power is given to this dominant world leader, known by many names, and it will arise because the Abrahamic religions have become impatient during their long-appointed vigil of preparing for the coming Messiah in Judaism, or the long-awaited return of the Mahdi in Islam, or the anticipated second coming of Jesus Christ in Christianity. The Battle of Armageddon.